Hi there, my name is Shane O'Brien McDonald, and this is the bonus episode, or episode 16, of Japan in 100 Dishes. Now, you might want to have watched episode 41 first, which is about Japanese bakeries. That's a good starter to understand what I'm talking about here today. What I wanted to do is just go through an actual menu from a chain restaurant that's really well known in Tokyo. And the name of this chain is called Vie de France. Now, I don't think it has any bearing on perhaps like this is a chain in France. I have no idea. I have no idea how French influenced it is. I've never even been to France. But it is a chain I used to go to quite a bit because you could pick up a really cheap lunch there. The prices are really, really affordable. There's a whole bunch of these places everywhere in the Tokyo area and in other parts of Japan as well. But fear not, if you're going to another bakery, another chain bakery, or in a department store, a lot of the lower levels of department stores in Japan will have their own small bakeries as part of the grocery store. You're going to see the same things. And I'm just doing this because I wanted to give you a guide to what you're going to find there and the ingredients, which is something I wish I'd known, rather than having to buy everything and then try it out first. So today we may not have time to do the whole menu, but I'll probably break it up to 2 bonus episodes. But this is the main website for Vie de France in Japan. And I like this because they do have different menus, like they have a seasonal menu, and they even have a new item menu. And this is quite interesting. I want to go over this first. Well, this is basically this month's new products. That's what this says here. It's like this month's new baked goods, and they have a Tokyo-to cheese bar. So basically it's a piece of bread with cheese baked on it. And look here, this is a Dutch ampan. And I think actually below here they even have better explanations. So they're divided into different things: bread, sandwiches, donuts, and sweets. And keep in mind, this is just the stuff that's this month's stuff. This is just the new items. There's a whole other menu we're going to look at that has stuff that you can get there all the time. Now, this kanji here is kashi pan. Pan is the word for bread in Japan. So it's a Portuguese word, so pan means bread. But the problem is that like they have the word bakery and they have the word panya. They're kind of interchangeable, and it can be a bit strange. But bear with me. This is the sweet breads, and I'm not talking sweet breads in sort of the meat, that strange meat they use making from animal products. These are literally bread that you're supposed to eat for dessert. The first one here is the Dutch ampan. So I don't know what makes it Dutch, to be honest. It's like something, the way it's described here is that it's something you can't resist, and it has shitori ni shian o tsutsumi. So what that means is basically the shio, it's like a kind of bean paste inside. Anytime you see an, you know, anpan, you know there's going to be something based on bean. And it's like $2 basically. If you don't like that though, there's also the tiramisu cream pan. So this has mascarpone cheese in it, and it has a coffee cream in it, and it's probably some cocoa on top. It looks like a little cocoa bean. And if you just like chocolate, like you're like a little kid, it's okay. This one is it's basically the oven baked chocolate chip melon. So why this is called a melon is because it looks like melon pan. Melon pan, we'll come to it later, is basically a kind of bread that's flavored with melon flavors. And this one, like, instead of melon, because it kind of looks like a half melon originally, this one has chocolate chips in it. So, you know, don't panic. You go to a bakery like this, you're going to find something you're going to like. Now, this one here is sozai pan. So basically, it just means bread dressed with stuff. And this is basically what most Japanese bakeries specialize in. It's very unusual to see people leaving a Japanese bakery with regular dinner rolls, like we would, you know, as a side. Like this is often the main thing they eat there, right? And as a sidebar, when you go to a Japanese bakery, we're used to having them behind a case. All the baked goods are usually behind a case, or they're pre-packaged in packages of like brownies or scones or pies. They're all pre-packaged in family sizes, so they'll last you 7 or 8 days. Not so with the Japanese bakery. They literally have everything out there there on shelves. You walk in, and to your right or to your left, there'll be trays they're always freshly washed, and there are tongs. And you take a tray and a tong, and you might take a top sheet, like a piece of wax paper as well. And then you can use that to go from the tongs and just pick the baked goods that you like. So you don't have to worry about eating too much, taking too much home. But on the other hand, it really is individual sizes, you know. And that, to be fair, I'm 6 feet tall, 180, 200 pounds. I could probably only eat 2 or 3 of these things. So if you're buying a lot, you're buying for a whole family. These are pretty filling, you know, especially with all the carbohydrate. Now, these sozaipan, this one just has the cheese, like so it has mozzarella and Edmond and Gouda on it. This one is the negishio bacon cheese focaccia. So it's a focaccia with bacon and cheese and green onions baked on it. Looks pretty good. This one is the Hokkaido mentaiko potato gratin. So gratin is what they use anytime. It's like basically cheese melted on stuff. What's great about this is that the mentaiko is the roe of the pollock fish. It's pink and it's in a sack and it's fermented. Not fermented. It's how can I put it? Like you do with steak. It's basically added spices are added to it so it can give it a little bit of flavor, and then it's fried in a frying pan till it turns pink. And then that's what they do. It turns into a paste. It's quite tasty. And this one they added some ham and cheese and some nori flakes as well. It's the potato is mixed in with the flavoring of the pollock roe. And the pollock roe is a little bit spicy, but this is something, it sounds weird, but I'll tell you, mentaiko mayo specifically, what's mayonnaise with mentaiko, like pollock roe, fried pollock roe, is phenomenally amazing. So this one I highly recommend. And you can tell it's $3, so it's more than the other ones. They also have, and now on the other page here, they also have some omelet. So you got your bread here, middle level. It's like a cut in half almost. So you have an omelet, and there's some carrots and lettuce there. And the lower part of it is egg salad. So it's egg salad with, baked into it, you've got some spinach and bacon. So again, it's pretty hearty, but it is going to be, you know, not that light. There's another one here. This is the teriyaki chicken. Again, only place I've ever had teriyaki chicken outside of a McDonald's in Japan was at places like Vie de France. And if you look here, this chicken down below here is what you're seeing on the lettuce and the carrots and the eggs. The bottom part is the tomato, cucumber, and egg salad sandwich. And down here is, so again, the same thing, eggs and vegetables together. It's a pretty standardized thing, even though it's a sandwich of the month. And this one here is the kani cream croquette sandwich. Well, kani is crab. Croquette, so kani cream, I guess, is a kind of a creamed crab. Croquette is a deep fried thing of mush. That's basically a specialty of the Netherlands. They have the whole walls. You can buy different kind of cream. It's I can't explain it except a Dutch croquette is what this is based on. So it's a deep fried product, but instead of having fish inside of it, it has a kind of paste, like usually with mashed potatoes. So this one has crab cream in it, and it has fresh vegetables, and it has what they call aurora sauce. I guess that's the kind of mixture of sauce on the top of it. So again, the fresh vegetables, they got some lettuce there, and you've got some shredded cabbage. So that's basically what you'd be looking at for the sandwiches. So those are the monthly specials. Again, those are the things that come up only on the month. Now that's this special part right here. But if you go down, this is only the stuff they do monthly. Now this is a catering menu where you can buy, like, you know, huge plates of sandwiches. We won't worry about that, although we're not going to throw a party. But the regular menu is quite interesting. So we were looking at only the stuff they were putting on just for this month, right? This is even more interesting. Now, just because there's so many, I'm going to skip some of this for the next episode. But what I like is to look at the drinks. You've got a coffee here. It's the siphon coffee. I guess it's their drip coffee. It is quite small, this cup. I don't want to... One thing about the bakeries, the one thing you got to understand, they will have a water dispenser. So you can get free water to go with your, you know, whatever it may be, your plate of goodies. However, that might be the best deal in there because the coffee is generally really tiny and really expensive. So I'm not saying you should go to eat your lunch here and then just have tap water what they provide. You can get, you know, a drink here, but if you're on a budget, it's better off just to wait around and go to Starbucks, you know. Again, there's a cafe au lait. It's straightforward fresh milk and nama cream. They call it nama cream. It's just the regular table cream, 8%. Then you have the Darjeeling tea. And I think they will have cream and milk available. Just so you know, just like now, the cream and milk and sugar are usually available. This one is interesting. You'll find interesting. Royal milk tea. Again, it's a strong Assam tea. Again, I'm not familiar with Assam tea, but usually there's lots of milk and sugar added to it. It's a bit sweet. Has a very distinct flavor to it. So it is something that you're gonna love or hate. I'm not a huge fan, but a lot of people really like it. And of course, you got some hot cocoa here. This you'll find interesting. Look at this. What could this be? It's a grayish liquid. You know what it is? Black sesame seeds and banana juice. Again, not exactly my first thing, but if you do need your potassium, that's what it is. It's basically black sesame seeds, which are in lots of Asian foods, and bananas mixed together into a smoothie. Down here, you got a similar thing, except this is honey and banana. So it's honey and banana juice, and it's basically a honey, like a smoothie, you know. So it's probably a little bit more palatable. And this here is a coffee float. Very light, so it's mild iced coffee as the base. And then they put soft serve ice cream, vanilla ice cream on top of it. And this is very popular in Japan, these kind of drinks with the soft serve ice cream on top. They also have a couple kinds of soup. There's the corn soup, and this one is just minestrone soup. The vegetables we didn't use today goes into the soup, I guess. So that's your idea of the drinks. They're not the best deal. And then on the sweets menu, this is where it gets interesting too. They have another set of sweets, which is basically a dessert menu, in addition to the dessert menu they already have on their bread menu. So this one is called Shiopan Soft. It's salt bread soft. Well, again, down here it just says Swiss fermented butter, like bread with salt used in it, so it's like a Shio butter France. It's like a French bread, you know. It's a Swiss recipe, I guess, but a tiny one. And then they open up the Swiss bread, and what do they put in it? Soft serve vanilla ice cream. This one is a bit different, a bit more appealing. Again, this could be delicious. I've never tried it, but there you go. That's what you'd be, just French bread with ice cream in it. This one is a honey bread. And again, it's a Canadian-made honey with fermented butter, fermented butter in it. Margarine is the best way I could call it. So there's some sort of margarine and butter thing going on here in the bread. And then they put in soft serve vanilla ice cream. And this is the Cup de French maple. So this is even better. This is French toast, cubes of French toast. That's basically what it says down here, with some maple syrup on it and whipped cream on top. So this is ice cream here. This is whipped cream. And down below here, we also have this ice cream treats. This one is coffee jelly. So it's like a jelly. Like if you've ever had Jell-O, it's much firmer and it's coffee flavored. It's actually pretty good, surprisingly. And they put ice cream on that. Again, it's a sweet coffee, so it's not bad. You know, again, very popular. Coffee jelly is very popular in Asia. Its thickness is somewhere between jam and Jell-O, so it's not completely thick. It's very easy to eat. This next to it is the chocolate sundae. What's interesting here, it is soft serve ice cream, but the base is cornflakes. Honestly, I don't think Japanese people ever eat cereal except in ice cream sundaes. They just love it. It's a huge thing over there. And other ice cream places have it too. I've never seen a Japanese person admit to eating cornflakes for breakfast. Fun fact, never seen Rice Krispies in Japan. I don't think you can get Rice Krispies in Japan. And then over here we have our strawberry dessert, which is the same thing. So that's part one of this. Until next time, sayonara.